All right, here's another Oscar-winning film. Some of you guys are way ahead and are already asking me about Standard 5, or you're really on track and on Standard 5. So I thought I'd make another video for those people that want to get things started over the weekend, all you overachievers. So, Standard 5. Assess the extent to which revolutions during this time period resulted in the expansion of political, social, and economic rights and opportunities. So, political, think politics, power, laws, right? Voting rights, all those sorts of things. Social deals with society and groups of people. And economic deals with money, jobs, resources, all those sorts of things. So you have 5 options. The first one is the bricks of the Bastille, or the bricks of the Bastille, if you want to get all French on us. There's a template in class we have here, but you're free to make a similar one on your own. So remember, the Bastille, it was a symbol of the revolution. It symbolized the monarch's power, the tyrannical power. So that's why they celebrate Bastille Day in France, right, when they tore it down. So we have the bricks here like it's the Bastille. And basically you're making a visual timeline. Okay? So it says the Bastille was a prison, fortress, armory that was stormed by the French people on 14th July 1789. This in many ways marked the beginning of the revolution. Your directions are to create a timeline of the French Revolution using words and images, placing one event in each brick. So don't just put a word, you're going to put some sort of image in it. Remember that stick figures are always okay in this class. All right. The second one is, a cause and effects graphic organizer. Let me get that out for you. So if you make the graphic organizer, whether you do it in your notebook or you do it digitally or make a cool Canva thing or something, you can make it like a grid, sort of like this. You can do it other ways. I saw a few students make some really cool looking ones. But basically, you want to show cause and effect. And the causes can be revolutions, or it could be certain events within the revolutions. But don't be general. Don't just put the effect as freedom. Be specific. Haitians getting freedom, slavery ending. When women got the right to vote. All sorts of different things. When the class system was dismantled and people were taxed differently. So there's no quantity in how many you need in each category, but have a few specific ones that show you understand the standard. The third assessment option is to fill out a graphic organizer on the film on the French Revolution. There's a link to that in our blend space. If you go on YouTube and just put French Revolution documentary history channel or something, you'll find it. And it's about an hour or so long, and you want to fill this out. I have copies in the room. I'll check and see if I do have a link to it in the barn. If not, you can make something similar to this. And when you fill this out, once again, don't just be broad in general, be specific. This is probably the best part of review. If you understand this, you'll do well in the DBQ for the exam. And if you don't understand any part of the movie about any of these things in here, make sure to let me know and I'll discuss things and review it with you. Someone said, why should I spend an hour on one of these assessments? And I was like, well, just play it on while you clean your bedroom for an hour this weekend or something. And actually filling this out isn't very difficult. It's just a matter of making sure you're understanding what was going on. Right, the fourth one is the collection of on this day tweets. Don't just pick any on this day tweet. Someone told me they used when the Tootsie Roll was invented. And I said, okay, that's pretty neat, but make sure you can connect it to the standard. That's the challenge. So I purposely make sure every so often I tweet one that will relate to it. Can you relate Napoleon to it? This weekend there should be one on certain Latin American countries getting independence. I know that can relate to it. You want to find at least 5 to 8 of them. And some people copy and paste these into some sort of document. Some people just write out an explanation on a paper. But don't just copy it. Show exactly how each one relates to the standard. If you're going to pick Napoleon escaping from Elba, how does that relate to political, social, and economic opportunities? It might not. So you might not choose it. But find 5 to 8 that does and explain how. Okay? And the last and final option, once again, is current event. I don't need to explain these all again. I did that for an earlier standard, but this one asks for a revolution about the Arab Spring. So there's a whole other round of revolutions happening in the world right now. Look to one that's happening in the Middle East, or Google Arab Spring if you're not sure, and you'll find a lot. We want to sort of discuss, are these revolutions similar to the one from this era? Are they different? Are they both? And how? This is a good way to get started, is by finding your article and answering these questions. Okay, revolutions are not new. They're not something that only existed in one time period, and we like to see certain themes. So always check the board if you're not sure, or pause this and copy it. Okay, so those are the assignments. The idea is that after these 5 standards, you'll be able to ace this test because you understand these standards and you really get this, this unit. Make sure before you take the test, besides completing the standards, you go through the review video. That's on the YouTube channel. You go through a study guide. I made those little digital images to study that I Snapchatted out to you guys, and I also tweeted it if you don't have Snapchat, just to make sure you're prepared, and doing these standard assignments is the best way. So have a good weekend, guys, and I'll go over this next week if you have questions. Otherwise, you can email me, and while I might not get back to you real quickly on weekends, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right. Au revoir.